welcome to TMZ Live. Charles and I were just talking. Why this thing that we've started where we want pictures of members of Congress vacationing during the shutdown while all these federal workers are suffering, why it has caught fire the way it has.
Why is everybody so on board with this?
And I think the reason is it is nonpartisan. We don't care if you give us pictures of Democrats or Republicans. It's all of them. And I think that opens a door to both sides, you know, outside of Washington saying, go for it,
right.
Do it. And we're doing it. And we went to South Florida today, and with the help of a TMZ user, Ted Cruz was at the Fort Lauderdale airport with a phalanx of security.
A lot of security, which I don't know if he's hoping they're going to block people from taking photos.
It was to get through TSA without a confrontation.
Yes, which he managed to do. Ted Cruz has been logging a lot of miles in the last few days, but yeah, Fort Lauderdale. Now, he is down there for, is there a, there's no convention. So this is probably the vacation part of...
We don't know. We reached out to his office to find out why he was in Fort Lauderdale. We're guessing he's not doing spring break with the college students. I mean, it's a guess. But
oh, God, please.
I know.
Please.
I know. But he was at the airport. We don't know what he was doing there. We reached out to his office. They said they'd get back to us. They didn't.
He was one of the first guys we got when this started.
We got him on an airplane.
On Friday, we got him on an airplane. That time he was on his way to Texas. And he spent the weekend in Texas, but now he is...
coming back from Fort Lauderdale doing something. Speaking of Florida, remember we showed you yesterday, we got all these pictures of Lindsey Graham in Fantasyland, which is also DC.
Fantasyland at Disneyland?
At Fantasyland at Disney World. There he is at the brunch with Chef Mickey's. But holding that bubble wand.
The bubble wand.
A lot of people just looked at this and said, that is precious.
That might... I mean, look, we still have almost 2 weeks to go of their vacation, but that might end up being the photo of the Congress vacation, the 2-week recess.
Unless we get somebody on a Carnival cruise.
Now, we'll see. We'll see about that. But
so Lindsey Graham
was thinking about it.
He wanted to reset things.
Oh, boy. And did he late Monday by posting this photo of himself, posted on all his social media, with the caption that said, spent some time breaking clay in Edgefield County today. Doesn't get much better than that.
Why is he posting
Sorry for the accent.
This?
I don't know why.
No, I thought it worked.
I don't know why I went to a southern accent.
I think the accent worked.
Yeah.
But why is he posting this right after we post the picture of him holding the bubble wand?
Because he can see his staff is telling him what's happening on social media, that America is rallying around this idea of showing.
But how does that help? If it's really about them vacationing.
Because this is still his recess. He's just spending it. He wanted to change him. If we didn't have him with the bubble wand, he wouldn't have posted that.
Absolutely.
If it was just him walking
around. If it was just
around,
Chef Mickey's.
It's Chef Mickey. He's not. That's not it. The shotgun is about.
I don't just hold bubble wands. I shoot guns, is what he's saying.
That's most likely. That has to be.
And that's what it is.
Right.
So look, we have talked to you about this now for days, but we really are looking for pictures of members of Congress. We don't care if they're Republicans or Democrats.
Doesn't matter. And really, what's important here, and I do think there's something to the fact that we've gotten so many images of Ted Cruz and the Lindsey Grahams also, because they are very high profile. And so more people are going to recognize them. But we're not just looking for them. We want all members of Congress. And if you don't know what your representative looks like, look it up. And because you never know, you might run into them.
Or if you really want to be a yeoman, you can look at all 535 members to see if you have a good recall when you happen to see somebody. But they could be anywhere. And again, we're doing this to make a point. And the point is, tomorrow, rent is due. Tomorrow, for many people, car payments are due. There are thousands of federal workers who have not gotten a paycheck in 6 weeks. And even the TSA agents who have gotten something because of this executive order, they've gotten 2 weeks of pay. Remember,
and that's temporary, by the way.
And that's temporary. And they are
Congress
coming off
needs to do their job.
6 weeks without pay, about 4 months ago. So they are suffering. And to see Congress unable to compromise, unable to reach some kind of a deal to end the shutdown, and then just leave Washington and go to spring break, as if, well, that's what we do. We want to stand up and say it's not okay.
Yeah,
and that's why we're doing this.
Even if Ted Cruz does end up on a beach with some college kids, still not right.
But we'd like the picture.
But we would love the picture. So,
and again, it's not about Democrats, it's not about Republicans, it's about all of them. So, joining us right now is a member of Congress.
Yes, Congressman Rich McCormick from Georgia. We've talked to him before, and he's joining us now to talk about this campaign. Congressman, welcome back to TMZ Live.
Great to see you guys.
It's good seeing you. So, what do you think about what we're doing? Be honest with us.
We can take it.
We can take it. We are looking for pictures of members of Congress, on spring break. What do you think?
I think you're not the only ones. I think there's people actually sending pictures all over. They're looking for people who are taking off when the government's still not funded. This was not created by one party, by the way. This is created by, this is a bipartisan problem. When I say that, we have both the upper and the lower chamber, the Senate and the House, kind of with competing bills right now to fund the Department of Homeland Security. There's all kinds of politics in between, but one of our first and most important responsibilities is to fund the doggone government. We haven't done that. We're playing games. I understand why people are upset, and I understand why you're doing what you're doing.
Okay. All right. So about that, about the funding, as we've been watching it, and we've been saying this, and this is the reason we ended up with this campaign, is where's the compromise? Why is there, and I hear the frustration in your voice that it hasn't been done yet, that you haven't funded DHS, and there's frustration with the Senate bill, clearly, that Mike Johnson rejected it when it got to the House. Why can't there be compromise? And we say this all the time, it used to be, there have always been disagreements in Congress, but at some point you reach a compromise, and that just doesn't seem to happen anymore.
Well, let me just lay it out the way it is. When we didn't have the presidency, we kept on doing CRs, which means you basically put the last year's bill in this year. Nobody liked it, but it was the only thing we could get passed. We didn't shut down the government because we figured the people would be mad about that. They didn't want that. So even though we didn't get our way, we continued to keep the government open. In the last 3 years since I've been in Congress, we've shut down every single year, 3 times in 3 years, including 2 of the longest shutdowns ever because the minority party disagrees with the president, the way he's delivering his bureaucracies. When you disagree, it doesn't mean you just shut down the government. That's become the standard now. That's the hill to die on. Every time they disagree, they're going to shut down the government because that's the only tool they have to get what they couldn't get when they were in the majority. That's why I don't think it's necessarily something outside of the realm of possibilities when you pick your battle. But every battle they're willing to shut down the government. That's not making the people happy. And I hope people realize why this is happening. Who's responsible for it? In my opinion, it's the Senate, and it's the people who are in the minority in the Senate who are doing this.
In my opinion, it's all you guys. And I'm sick of it because both sides need to figure it out. And you can't just say it's one side, it's both sides. And there are ways of compromising, giving up things where you have to wince, but it used to happen and it doesn't. And it really brings me to the bigger point. For a couple of months now, I've been yapping about an idea called OUTA, out with their asses. And that means that and no offense to you, Congressman, because you've been great with us, but I got to tell you that I feel that we should vote every member of Congress out, all 535, to make a statement. The people should regain control. And I like my congressman, but I'm going to vote against him because I think you need to wipe the slate clean and tell the next group, these are our expectations. And if you don't do what we expect, we are going to throw you out the way we threw the last group out. And I know that sounds radical, and I know it's not ideal, but the people need to regain power because as a body, you guys, all of you, have failed.
So I'm going to throw this challenge back to you. What would you give into in order to fund this next government? Because that's what this is about. This is about funding the DHS, which is really not about that. It's about ICE. Would you go against the will of the people, which is to close the southern border, to stop the inflow of illegal, including many criminals and drug dealers and rapists and pedophiles and child traffickers, because that's what they're doing. Their bill says we want to defund all that, take away thousands of jobs that by law we've had in the past. We want to go back to the administration that was voted out. If that's what you want, if that's what you think this is worth, then you're right. We should compromise. We should give up all those things that we just voted in the last election to get rid of.
Well,
but that's what you're suggesting.
But the idea of compromise, you don't give up all of those things.
I'll give you.
So what would you give up, though?
You asked what I would do.
What would you give up, though?
I'll tell you exactly what I would give up.
Go ahead.
I would say this. I will fund ICE. Give me two things in return. I will fund ICE and I'll fund everything else. Two things in return. No masks and search warrants, because that's what the law requires. So give me that, and I'll give you ICE. How's that?
Well, I tell you what, we already replaced Christy Nome with somebody who I
What
think
about what about my idea? No search warrants, no masks, and I'll fund ICE. How's that?
I don't care so much about ICE being masked, other than the fact that there's certain raids that you're going to do that are very sensitive, right? You're dealing with criminal elements.
Same with the FBI, same with the Secret Service, same with the FBI and Secret Service. They deal with bad guys. Would you accept what I'm saying? No masks, no
you must have search warrants.
You have to have search warrants, and would fund ICE.
Well, I tell you what, I would compromise with some of those things, with the exception of covert actions, which we always mask people. It doesn't matter what service they're in.
So then you guys should just reach a compromise on this.
Well, here let me make this case. All those ICE agents that are in the airports right now have no masks on.
I know, but we're not talking about them. We're talking about Minneapolis. We're talking about other places. Just do those two things and fund ICE so TSA agents can pay their rent next month, and FEMA workers can pay their rent, and Coast Guard members can pay their rent.
Hey,
what about
I'm
that?
all for that. And how about this then? How about we add on to that, if you dox an ICE agent because they take off their mask and you threaten their family?
No, because you want to complicate it. We want to open the government. So don't start adding things on. You just ask, what are the two things? Do the two things, and then if it doesn't work, start arguing that. But reopen the government. No extra stuff like Trump wants to put transgenders. No. Just do the two things.
You can still deal with those
open
things
the government.
down the road.
What about that?
Right. Don't attach that to opening the government.
I tell you what, I'll float those ideas myself. I'll float those ideas, and I guarantee you Schumer's going to reject it.
Well, they've been talking about exactly that. Masks.
No, they want much more than that. They wanted to fund ICE.
Okay, well, then you know what? It's on them if you come up with something reasonable. But don't just draw that hard line. We got to fund ICE. We're not going to do any of that stuff. We're not going to talk about reform. Come up with a compromise.
Well, there has been reform. And remember that both those cases where civilians were killed are both under litigation right now. They're being reviewed. They're being processed. There have been things that have changed already in the way that we apply ICE. So this is not like a static environment. This is a fluid environment. We're actually adapting. But they're not even acknowledging that point. They're not acknowledging that we've replaced the head of the DHS.
Okay. How about this? How about leaving it at this? Why don't you go back, if you said you would accept that, and float it and see, would you fund ICE if we say no masks and we need search warrants? Would you float that?
Well, I think we already do have search warrants, but I'll research that and I'll tell you what we have the books, because right now I know we're still following constitutional law. I know things are being challenged in the courts, and every time we have a court order, we comply with it.
I know, but we're talking about opening the government. And that's why there is a stalemate.
When you start attaching all these other things to it, it makes it impossible to move forward. But you know that better than we do because you're going through it while you're in Congress.
Open the government.
Open the government.
I'm all for that.
And if you see a colleague out on vacation,
do you know where
send us a
Johnson
picture.
Is on vacation?
Yeah, we want a picture.
I wish I could go on vacation. You know, you guys, I never go on vacation. This is a problem. When I was in the military, I gave back, 70 days of leave because I couldn't use it because I never get to go on vacation. So, of course, I chose a job which is even worse.
Well, hey, you're on spring break.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. But what I'm doing on spring break is work.
Okay, Congressman. It's good talking to you again.
All right, see you.
Thanks.
Coming up.
Tiger Woods crashed last Friday. He told officers he had not been drinking, and in fact, the breathalyzer backed that up. But as far as any medications, he had 2 actual pain pills in his pocket at the time of that accident.
They were opioids.
Be right back.
When Tiger Woods crashed last Friday, he told officers he had not been drinking, and in fact, The breathalyzer backed that up,
He was
0.0.
telling the truth.
But as far as any medications, well, he told police that there were medications he took, and we now know, TMZ Sports broke it this morning, that he had 2 actual pain pills in his pocket at the time of that accident.
They were opioids.
Yep.
And on top of that, he admitted to officers at the scene that he had taken his meds that morning.
Although the way he said it, I don't think, I get why you said he admitted, but I think the way he said it was, yeah, I took my regular prescribed medications.
Right. He never, the police report does not say what the prescribed medications are.
Right.
And they also
probably don't know.
They also blocked out what it was for
Right.
HIPAA reasons.
Right.
So we don't know what the prescribed medications were, but he had 2 strong opioids.
Hydrocodone
And
pills.
also exhibited signs of somebody who might be under the influence of that.
Yes. There were a lot of signs.
Bloodshot eyes, extremely sweaty in the back of a air-conditioned police car. His eyes were dilated and glossy. He flunked various field sobriety tests, hand-eye
all those
coordination.
things that you just described, they observed that and they said, we have to give this guy field sobriety testing. And it's probably a good thing they did, because that may be all they have to build their case on, because we know he rejected the urinalysis. So they're not going to know exactly what was in his system.
Unless, Charles, and here's what's interesting. So after they put him through the field sobriety test, he flunks those, they arrest him, they take him to jail, the breathalyzer test, which he blows zeros across the board. They did take him to the hospital because they were concerned that he had just been part of this bad accident. And we don't know if he had taken a blood test or at the hospital.
They talked about implied consent in this police report, but based on what I know, they did not do that.
Right.
Because at the press conference that the sheriff had, he said, we will never know what was in his system. So I think when you look at that and you look at the police report, they never did a test.
Right.
And so now the question, can he be successfully prosecuted? The answer to that is yes. It happens every day where people refuse it, because there are 2 elements to driving under the influence. One is when you register like a 0.08 or higher if it's alcohol, or if you take a urinalysis and you see you're under the influence of drugs. But the other is that if somebody is driving while impaired, and if they are impaired, you can determine that from the field sobriety test. And they have a test. There is body cam. They're going to. The jury is going to see it.
You know what they're going to say, though, Harp. They're going to say, and he told cops this. They said, hey, do you have any physical ailments? He goes, I've had 7 back surgeries and 20 surgeries on my leg.
It doesn't explain when you read.
He had a brace on his knee, they said, when he.
But I'm saying, you know, they're going to say, hey, he took some medication and he had a bad reaction.
But that doesn't matter.
If he's wobbly on a field sobriety test, they're going to say, well, look at his leg. He's had 20 surgeries.
He wasn't wobbly because they acknowledged it. They put him on a bumper. And they said, okay, we're going to do a series of hand-eye coordinations. And he was messing them up. And as for if he had a bad reaction, that doesn't matter. You don't get in a car. That's the answer.
For sure.
So he's cooked either way.
You think so?
I know so.
Yeah.
I mean, unless the jury doesn't believe he was impaired. But there's going to be body cam they're going to see. And the stakes here are high. There is property damage, and in Florida, that means he could get a year in jail. Now, will he get a year? I don't think so. But this judge can consider the 2017, where he was charged with DUI. They brought it down to something lower. But the judge can look at the underlying facts and see what was in his system then. Because we know he had Dilaudid, Vicodin, Xanax, THC. And the judge can look at that, and then if he wants to make an example of Tiger or say, look, you need jail time, he could do it.
It's going to be fascinating.
I got to say, if the police, there's a really smart move on their part to make the field sobriety test not lower body based.
They immediately said,
because it's almost like they knew that what you said is that they could use the excuse of
that he's
the
wobbly.
surgeries and all that, so you just do
hand-eye coordination.
And they literally go through
really
each test, Charles, and they say he was not following directions. He's turning his head when he's not supposed to move his head. He's not following the pen tip as they asked. He really bombed
He bombed it.
I'm Tori from Atlanta, Georgia, and I think I agree with you guys for sure. Like Tiger Woods has had an illustrious career and he's well respected, but at some point he does have to start asking himself, why is this overshadowing my career? And he has to start taking some accountability for his actions.
Well, we will see what happens in court.
Man, is Cardi B paying the cost to be the boss? To quote James Brown, she is paying a lot of money. I can't, these numbers you're about to hear can't be true. But
it cost a lot to be Cardi B.
Cardi was on the Aspire podcast with Emma Grede, and they were talking about how much it costs to be Cardi B, to actually sustain her life. It cannot really cost this much. Here are the numbers, and then we'll try to break it down.
I think you revealed last year you were spending like $3 million a month or something like that on your outgoings, on keeping Cardi B and the family going. Was that true?
Yes, like it's like so many. It's just not 3 million. It will be like a month that is like, wow, I spent so much money. But then some months are like lower than others. It was like a year that I was like, why am I spending $1 million on transportation a year? Like driving transportation, not planes or nothing, like just driving. There's just so many little accounts that you have that is like, I'm not always keeping up with it. Keep up with every single account that you have.
Are you doing that now?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't believe
It sounds to me like Cardi was getting fleeced by somebody.
I mean, if she's in New York most of the time, you hire one
she's
driver.
in Georgia most of the time, but anyway.
Wherever.
Yeah.
You hire one driver.
Right.
And how much can a driver cost?
Okay, but I will say that Cardi, she's paying for drivers for herself and also for her kids, some of her staff.
Team.
I get that. But $1 million means that, no, that's just not right. That there's money being...
You guys know how much these, like,
I
black
believe her,
Uber.
but I believe her. I don't think she's lying.
I don't think she's lying at all.
No, I don't think she's lying. What I'm saying is that money wasn't really going where she thought it was going.
You don't think so?
Oh, you
And
think she's being fleeced?
And I think that she...
I don't think so.
She was right about the thing where she said, know all of your little accounts.
For
and
sure.
it seems like she learned something that now she is paying attention because when she saw that number, she's like, where is that going?
But it probably did add up, but it still made her sit down and think to myself, there's no way in hell I should be spending
you think about
this.
it. She's got to hire security.
Yep.
That's expensive.
Yep.
She's got to have drivers.
Yep.
Drivers
Gas.
for her kids. She flies private.
She said no flights. She said this is just
No,
all...
I know, but she does fly private. I'm saying that you add all of this
to
up.
the $3 million number.
Okay, yeah.
And then insane beauty care.
It's
And insane beauty care and wardrobe.
She's
and all
known
that
for
stuff.
like her purses, her
surgery
heels,
here
all
or
that. Reductions.
You threw in a surgery here.
You threw in she had a relationship or she was going to the football games every other weekend.
And she's not going to one of these guys that advertise on billboards on bus stops.
God, I hope not.
I mean, she's going to these doctors who charge a fortune. And so...
You know what else you didn't say? Her hair. Do you know how much wigs
that's
cost?
true.
Wigs and nails? Do you know how much those
I do
cost?
not. I only wear a wig.
Sure you don't?
I did wear a wig once in my life.
That thing
Yours
cost
probably wasn't.
$5.
When I was in, no, you haven't.
The one when you went to the strip club?
No, that's a different wig.
So now we know there are multiple wigs. Interesting.
Hi, this is Ashmir from San Francisco. I think $1 million a month in transportation is an egregious number. Like, just going from New York to Atlanta, it doesn't cost that much. So I'm very...
On a private jet, it does. I need to clear something up. Number one...
No. We've heard enough.
No, we haven't.
Oh, look at this right
When I went to that strip club and you saw that video, I did not have a wig on. That's number one. I did have a wig once in my life when I was in the Air National Guard because I was in college and it was uncool to have short hair. So I grew my hair long, and when I went to reserve...
That sounds like a toupee.
When I went to the reserve weekends, I would push my hair down and then put this crazy wig on thinking I got away with it and wore my hat.
It didn't cost as much as Cardi's.
No.
You should have stuck with the strip club story.
Coming up.
President Trump is already thinking about his presidential library.
This presidency is so steeped in failings that I've never seen anything like it.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
BB Rexa was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too.
Did you just say look at the water?
I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at.
TMZ.
Well, President Trump is already thinking about his presidential library, where it will be, what it's going to look like, and maybe appropriately for perhaps the most unique president we've had as far as in a lot of different ways.
Wait a minute, that's his hotel. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it looks like a hotel, but no. These are AI renderings of what the
Trump Tower.
That the presidential library, what he would like it to look like is
one of his hotels.
A fancier version of one of his Trump hotels.
Can I just say something?
Or Trump Tower in New York. Yeah,
I'm just going to come out and say it. Can you show the wide shot of that hotel, please? I want you to look at the wide shot of this hotel.
Mm-hmm.
This presidency is so steeped in failings that I've never seen anything like it. That he's giving shoes and guessing shoe sizes of the guys in the room. He's doing well, you know what I mean.
What are you trying to say?
It's all phallic.
It's all
It's
phallic.
all phallic.
Yeah.
It is all
well,
phallic.
He said last week.
From shoe size to buildings.
He has talked about his size. Remember, he
his
said
hands.
His hands. He said, "Look, there's nothing. I'm not."
Marco Rubio's feet. They're
right.
Going to give him big shoes.
Right.
It's like Bill Maher says. It is the gayest administration ever. No, it's like crazy. Everything is phallic.
So listen, this is not what presidential libraries look like. All of them
are
never
sort
been
of
a tower.
on a couple acres of land.
Yeah, and they're spread out because it's supposed to be a museum. Where is the giant jet that he's getting from
That's
from
the
Qatar?
old jet. That's the
old one.
old jet. Where's the new one he's getting that he said was going to end up in the library?
Of
oh,
the
is that
tower.
it? Because that's not. That doesn't look.
So at the base of the tower, I guess
They're
would
gonna have
be
to build the whole structure around the airplane.
Yes,
right.
exactly. Where's the door you're going to fit the 747 through?
And there's one floor. You know what's in it?
What?
Shoes. Just shoes. Shoes.
It's going to be a huge airplane. Huge. Never seen a bigger airplane inside a building. Huge.
Hi, this is Robert from West Hollywood. When I first saw this rendering, I thought it was interesting that Trump has been so focused on ballrooms, renaming the Kennedy Center, and giving himself fake awards. But something also humorous is that he's thinking about what life will be like after he leaves the office, which, funny enough, so am I. So the day that this begins construction is going to be a good day because it'll mean that he's no longer president of the United States.
Well, we will see. By the way,
that's what it's going to be.
This
That's
is
what he wants.
South Florida, right?
Yes, in Miami.
Interesting, not New York.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be retired.
No, I know.
He's doing what all New Yorkers do.
But
so where you end up, even if you're president.
That's funny.
Coming up.
There is a huge scandal.
Call it
in the world.
Scandival light.
It's Scandival-ish, definitely, but in the world of reality television, girl code apparently is still a thing.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. There is a huge scandal.
Call it Scandival. Scandival light.
It's Scandival-ish, definitely, but in the world of reality television, girl code apparently is still a thing. Even though you have talked about this, said that bro code isn't a thing.
Dumb.
Well, the cast of Summer House is now in the middle of a huge scandal because there's a guy who's hooking up with a woman who is best friends with a woman he hooked up with previously. That's the summary of it. So I will say I have not seen a reaction like this since the day Taylor Swift got engaged. People running around. You know who I'm talking to, Courtney.
Yeah, you're talking
People
to me,
running
and you are
around,
not. You are
going
not
like, this is crazy.
Capturing how big the story is. People are not well because of this.
Not well
and
because
by
of
people,
because
you are people.
Yes, we are the people because we've been getting feelings that this has been happening.
All right, you got to tell people
between Amanda and Wes. So this is
people?
all people on the show Summer House.
So the show Summer House is basically reality show in a house out on the Hamptons.
Yes, 7 people live together.
Following a bunch of friends.
Kyle and Amanda have been married and together for 10 years. They've recently got separated in January, so they're still technically married. Wes and Sierra have been hooking up on the show, dated back in 23.
Wes and Sierra. Okay, two separate people.
Two separate people. They've been dating, and Wes just confessed to other castmates that he still has feelings for Sierra, that he's still in love with Sierra. Cut to now. Wes
now
and Amanda.
Who's Wes with? Amanda. And Amanda, who's not even really divorced yet.
Kyle's
Yeah,
best
but
friend.
she's separated.
So what?
But
what do you mean, so what?
Amanda and Sierra were best friends. Amanda has been crying to Sierra this entire season, throughout all the seasons about Kyle. Sierra has been picking her up, wiping her tears for her, and then she goes and gets with her man. Not cool, Amanda.
Yeah, and the
Not
craziest
cool.
part, they've all been doing press for the show too,
Yes.
because the reunion's coming up. And Amanda literally just went on a podcast and addressed these rumors and was like, not gonna happen, I'm not touching any of my co-stars. So for now, them both to post this joint statement, West and Amanda.
But we
So the reason they
saying it's true.
saying it's true. So the reason they posted is they knew the reunion's coming up.
So people
they
have
knew
been
they were going to
saying
get called
that
out.
there's been photos of West and Amanda kissing, and that Sierra was actually shown those photos, and that's why Sierra canceled her Amazon Live with Amanda that was supposed to happen on the 26th. And everyone's like, why is Sierra not doing it with Amanda? They're best friends, so why are they now separated?
Has anyone checked on Sierra? Is she okay?
We love Sierra. Everyone's going to be Team Sierra.
Kyle's been posting Amanda's ex-husband.
So let me ask you something.
And the reunion tapes in 3 weeks.
So Sierra's available.
Explain to
She's
me.
very hot.
Explain to me why what you're saying doesn't make women just property, like a sofa. That I own this sofa and you can't sit
It's
on
a
it.
friendship.
What do you mean?
What do you mean ownership?
Because you're saying.
No, Amanda's in the wrong because she hooked up with her best friend's guy.
But people aren't
Why?
property. They
The
can
guy
hook up
isn't
with,
property.
Yeah.
It's code. Do you not understand?
Sierra
No, I
doesn't
don't understand
own-
it.
Sierra doesn't own Wes. Is that the right name?
But Sierra likes West. If I like someone and then my friend all of a sudden starts dating them and they know that this guy has hurt me, that we're
messed up.
still like trying to work it out, it's messed up.
No, they're separated. They're getting divorced.
No,
but the friendship.
You're not following.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're not following.
You're
Maybe
not.
not.
You know what?
Because
Please step
West
aside,
and
sir.
Sierra were talking like just 6 months ago, and he was saying that
take
he
a seat,
loves
Charles.
Sierra. And now West is with that girl's best friend.
Okay.
It's like, do you
They
not
kept it
see
hidden.
Are
this?
they
Why
not?
do I- why does it sound
Are Wes and Sierra together?
They were.
Okay, I know
Not
they were,
anymore.
but they're
Not
not anymore.
No.
Do you
They're
have
done.
that friend?
They're done. Yeah,
Clearly
they're
not.
done. And if they're done, it's like
I can't do this with you.
you shouldn't do this.
But
with
it's
me.
not about them. It's about the girls' relationship,
Yes.
their friendship.
But why should a girl say, "Oh, I marked my territory on a guy, so
It's
you
not
can't go
marking,
near
it's
it"?
having
Yes, it is.
respect.
It's respect.
It's
Wait,
marking your.
we're about out of time. I just have to know. Why does it sound like you're about to cry?
Because I'm not well. I like this.
It's a little
like,
insane.
Yes, it's not
Here you go,
good.
Charlie.
Hey, I'm Jenna. I'm in Tampa, and I'm not a certified Bravo expert, but it sounds like Sierra and West were on and off in a situationship for all this time. And it seems like Amanda has been flirty with all the guys in the house. Like, this isn't that shocking. She just came out of a bad marriage. Are her decision-making skills questionable? Absolutely. But it doesn't even seem like Sierra and West, like, even liked each other all that much. Like, they're just plain toxic. Are Sierra and Amanda even, like, all that close? Like, I feel like not really, to the degree that people are exaggerating. Everyone involved is probably just really toxic, but, you know, that's what makes for good TV.
I would argue with
you are a certified Bravo
but
expert.
I just don't care. Do you believe in girl code? Do you believe in this?
I do when it comes to good friends, but if
Why?
they're not all that close, I don't see, like, being loyal to a girl that you don't really know as well, you're not very close with. I don't believe in marking your territory on human beings, that's for sure.
All right, we got good old-fashioned cops and robbers here, or alleged robber, we should say. A woman who was arrested by cops in Michigan over the weekend, and while she's sitting in the back of the cruiser, honestly, this video is fascinating to watch.
She should be at the Magic Castle.
Right, this is something you see in Ocean's 11, like they have a guy who can
it's very
wiggle his way.
It's very Houdini.
She gets out, and she gone.
And they can't find her. They can't find her. How do you get the handcuffs off? How do you get the handcuffs off?
I mean,
no,
did she get them off?
But what do you do to get the handcuffs off? Do you go into a store and say, my husband was playing a game and then he broke up with me?
Watch when the officer comes back and is like, wait, where did she go?
Yeah, how did he leave the window open like that?
Well, it's probably it's courtesy just to say, all right, so
well,
you
why
get some
isn't
fresh
he
air.
looking? Why isn't he looking? I mean,
wouldn't officers suspect that that's about to happen?
You would feel the
They
car.
went into the grocery store for something, I guess.
They left her with the window open?
She's gone, by the way. They have not found her.
How do you get the handcuffs off?
They had
Where
her,
do you
they
go?
Had her in custody for parole violation, alleged parole violation.
Can you go to a locksmith and they open it?
She must have gotten it off because they suspect she broke into a house.
So how do you go to a locksmith?
I guess you could break into a house.
Where do you
still
go?
Handcuffed.
Boy, this is fascinating. I love this.
Coming up.
Just when you thought you knew everything about Lamar Odom's saga with drugs, with the brothel, now we are hearing another chapter of this, and you're hearing it straight from Khloe Kardashian.
Be right back.
Just when you thought you knew everything about Lamar Odom's saga with drugs, with the brothel, the night that he almost died. Actually, I think he technically did die.
He was a mess.
Well, now we are hearing another chapter of this, and you're hearing it straight from Khloe Kardashian, which I think makes this very interesting. There's a new documentary from the Untold series on Netflix, which is, this one is The Death and Life of Lamar Odom. And Khloe participated in this. And she tells a story about after the brothel, after he barely survived, she had a house that she was renting.
I remember that.
Right.
Remember, she
set him up with everything.
She withdrew the divorce because she was divorcing him. Withdrew it. Was by his side in the hospital. Brought him back. Set him up. Did everything for him.
And then this is her describing what happened one day she walked into that house.
And I remember stopping by the house and I smelled crack. Okay, I'm gonna be as stealth as possible and I'm gonna see what the this guy's doing. I remember slowly tiptoeing up the stairs. He was in his bedroom, sitting on the edge of the bed, smoking crack. And I just punched him in his face. I just put my life on hold. Take care of you. How did you get this? You don't have a phone? You can't talk? Well, lo and behold, he had a phone. He was better than I knew. He was playing me so I can continue this lifestyle for him. I said, by Monday, you need out of this house. I'm done. I'm not paying for a thing. And I never want to speak to you again.
Well, she did, because they had a reunion not too long ago.
Yeah.
And, I did a documentary with Lamar, and he was saying that, Khloe was the biggest regret of his life, what he did, and he wanted back. But when they had that reunion, I just thought, well, the ice is thawed. Right?
Well, it was a very awkward reunion, and Lamar did say that he felt uncomfortable because the cameras were there and it didn't feel like it was organic. Of course, people were hoping that maybe they could reconcile. But I think my big takeaway from this documentary is just how much Khloe tried to help him. I mean, she went through so much to make it work with this guy and to try to get him help. She talked about one time she had to pump his stomach for him. I mean, just so many different things, and she was always by his side, and it just never worked out, but you can tell how much she loved him and still loves him.
Hi, Will Ozer from New York City. Yeah, I was kind of shook by the fact that, she was participating in this, really reveling in this whole story. And I think for a while, a lot of us here who are following the Kardashians, we think that they're chronically curated and obsessed with fame, but it kind of changed my tune about her. Obviously, their relationship was objectively chaotic, but at the same time, it shows that there was real love there. And the older I get, I'm like, oh, maybe this wasn't for some messy celeb lore. It was really to highlight, this gets very dark and very real very quickly. Addiction's no joke, and it's even when it's happening in a mansion and not as a PSA on TV. Like, I think that's why Khloe definitely took part in this, to bring that awareness and show more of her humanity side, which I feel like I aligned with.
Coming up.
All right, we are about to show you a portrait of bravery. Anthony Edwards, the NBA superstar. Why would he miss the beginning of a game? He was asked about this. It happened last night.
Oh, was this the bathroom thing?
Spoiler alert.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Be right back.
All right, we are about to show you a portrait of bravery. Anthony Edwards, the NBA superstar. Best player on the T-Wolves, without question. So why would he miss the beginning of a game? He was asked about this. It happened last night.
Oh, was this the bathroom thing?
Spoiler alert.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Roll it.
What happened to you for the first night out? Okay.
I was taking but yeah, like I said, Mike held it down for me.
Yeah, I heard this the other day. I'm sorry.
Listen, a lot of times guys come up with all sorts of excuses. Oh, I had stomach flu or blah, blah, blah. He's just like, you know what? Hey, we stayed in the bathroom a little too long.
I was going to say the honesty is a breath of fresh air, but that might not
No.
in this case.
See what he did there?
Look, athletes got to go. There was that rumor with Paul Pierce back in the 2008 NBA Finals, Lamar Jackson on Monday Night
Paul
Football.
Pierce thing is true,
But
right?
No, he has
He's never
denied it
admitted
all
it?
these years. He never admitted it, but shout out to Anthony Edwards for just saying, look, nature called.
Boy, my deep knowledge of sports here.
Yeah.
I knew this.
Let me
I
guess.
did. I heard it the other day.
Overheard in the gym.
No. I heard it the other day. I remember it. Wow.
Huh. It happened last night.
No. How could it happen last night if I knew this?
It happened because you heard it this morning at the gym.
What else do
This
you
guy
guys want to
does
talk about?
Gabriel in Maryland. Congress's Easter and recess break. Recess is really considered sacred ground for both Republicans and Democrats, but leaving D.C. as people are having to sleep in their cars and miss checks and quit their jobs is just not a good look.
Preach.
Exactly.
Yeah. This isn't only Republicans, though. I mean, there's been some Democrats spot. Yeah, they've been spotted out in the wild, too. So let's not just try to say it's one side.
There's 535
Everybody.
of them. They're out in the they're all out in the wild.
One more.
I'm Karina. I'm in the DC area, and about the whole Cardi B interview that just came out, I just have to say it's like nice to see celebrities being conscious of their money like the general public is right now. People beg influencers all the time to read the room, and I think that's just what she's doing. It's very easy to not spend $3 million in a year. Most people never will in their whole lives. So I think if you just have like a little bit of perspective and maybe some goodwill towards her, I think it's a good thing that she ended up saying this.
Yeah. You should probably check before you are spending $3 million a year. But anyway.
Do you ever see Little Shop of Horrors?
Oh, boy.
Of course.
I'd worry about that plant on your left shoulder. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll keep away.
Coming up.
Well, Lindsey Graham has a few more days of vacation. Maybe he wants to head over to Disneyland Paris. Be prepared to be disappointed by one of the characters, a robot version of Olaf from the Frozen movies.
Be right back.
Well, Lindsey Graham has a few more days of vacation. Maybe he wants to head over to Disneyland Paris.
Oh!
He should hit all the Disneys. But if he does go to Disneyland Paris, be prepared to be disappointed by one of the characters, a robot version of Olaf from the Frozen movies, which roams around the park and is... Watch this. That ain't what the kids want to see.
Oh, no.
Now all these parents
died.
Now the parents have to explain to the kids.
That is hysterical.
Mommy, what happened to Olaf? You gotta charge the batteries on these things before you send them out there.
I want to bring that to birthday parties and have for kids. I want to like literally start a business and watch the robot drop dead.
And you have a camera that just watches all the kids' faces.
It would be hysterical.
Wow.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
That you are reveling so much in the pain of some children.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.